CM Punk is your number one contender. CM Punk has that match against Gunther at SummerSlam. Well, you said something interesting earlier on in the show, that you think this was the plan all along. So you think even with Seth Rollins' injury, this was the plan, was whether it was having that gauntlet match or not, that it was to have CM Punk in this position going after that World Heavyweight Championship.
I think the only monkey wrench that was thrown into the equation, the machine, was Seth's injury affecting the commercial breaks of Saturday night's main event. I believe that the I don't know what the finish of Seth and LA Knight was going to be. However, I believe that the match with Goldberg and Gunther was supposed to end just the way it ended, and there should have been more time on the back end for Goldberg's speech, and that last night's gauntlet match was a standalone, and that the plan all along was Punk versus Gunther to SummerSlam.
And I speculated yesterday, Bully, about, hey, maybe Seth was supposed to cash in at Saturday night's main event and become your new world champion. If that was, and again, we'll never know. Maybe we'll find out somewhere down the road, but who knows? If that was the plan, do you think the plan would have been Seth Rollins and CM Punk? Or do you think that we've been down that road so many times that you couldn't have that match again?
I believe that we've been there enough recently, and it's been a while, but I love Gunther and Punk. I
do too.
As much as I love the rivalry between Seth and Punk, we've seen it. And the last time we saw it, we saw Seth get some shots in verbally where we even said, wow, Seth won that battle tonight. Punk and Gunther will be different, and I'm very interested in the psychology of this match. I've always been a huge Gunther fan as far as the psychology is concerned, and I think there's a person out there that understands, not can work with, but understands Gunther's psychology. It's Punk.
And I think like Gunther has really stepped into his own when it comes to what he does on the microphone. I think he's done a very good job on the microphone, Gunther. Now he's going up against now CM Punk, who's one of the best on the microphone. I think this is going to elevate Gunther's game. Like, we know how well Gunther is in the ring. He's one of the best credible wrestlers that the WWE has. I'm very interested on what Gunther can do on the microphone with CM Punk. And if there's one person I have faith that could step up, it's Gunther.
Just popped into my head as you were talking about Gunther being good on the microphone. We've seen a couple of people be good on the microphone with Punk. And then we're always wondering what the verbal back and forth is going to look like, sound like. What if they went in the complete opposite direction? What if they went in the direction of Apollo Creed and Ivan Drago? What if you never heard a word from Gunther? What if Punk talked and talked and talked and Gunther just looked at him week after week and never said a word, just to get in Punk's head? It's different. I mean, I know you don't, I can tell by looking at you, you don't love the idea.
I just don't know if the WWE, but I don't know if the WWE would do that.
I get that. That's not going to stop me from throwing out an idea that I might think is good or different.
Absolutely.
Like, we only have 3 weeks until SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
Next week, Gunther and... Oh, by the way, talking about the wording of things, how WWE likes to get cute with their wording. I popped huge last night for the advertisement for SmackDown this Friday night. So Cody's going to be at SmackDown and Cena is going to be at SmackDown. Do you remember the wording that they used for it?
They're going to be like both under the same roof or something. Under the same roof. Like, we don't want to say they're actually going to be in the ring with one another. It's like they're going to be under the same roof. By the way, you mentioned WrestleMania. Punk and Seth Rollins, I don't think had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania, but they had that triple threat that this past WrestleMania,
Right.
With Roman. So, but as far as one-on-one, they didn't have that WrestleMania match.
So with only 3 weeks ago, you get Gunther and Punk face to face next Monday night on Raw, and Punk's just do what Punk does. Blah, 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 blah. And Gunther doesn't say a word and walks away.
You know what I would love? If not only not say a word, laugh at Punk. Like, just laugh at him. Like, like how he was last night when Punk was talking, making all this movement and all finger pointing at Gunther. Gunther just laughed. Gunther's like, had his hands up like he just laughed. Like, I would like that if it's just like, you're a joke. There's no way you're an old, beaten down man. Like, there's no way you're going to beat me.
I must break you. If he dies, he dies. Listen. Hiding the championship in AEW for 9 months, not a good idea. But based on the reaction we got, remember we said the dog is so ugly it's cute? The idea was so bad that it wound up being good. Based on the reaction we got when Hangman pulled out the championship, it actually worked as they popped huge. Right? This is much shorter. Don't say a freaking word. Don't talk. Punk is used to people saying things back to and then coming back over the top and burying them. Don't say anything. Frustrate Punk by not saying a word.
Bully, let's talk about Punk being in this main event and going for the World Heavyweight Championship. At some point, you think they have to pull the trigger on Punk being a champion now in this second run with the WWE. Is this maybe one of the last opportunities for Punk?
Let me tap into your emotion and your vibe right now. Do you need to see CM Punk beat Gunther?
I don't, but he's got such a hardcore fan base of people who absolutely love him. I don't know.
That's fine. I'm just asking you right now, like how you felt about Cody finishing the story. Cody has to win.
I don't.
Cody, how you felt about Hangman? Oh my God! Like you were never a massive Hangman fan, were you?
No, but he got me to get on him and to ride that train with him.
You were like, my God, Hangman has to win. Do you feel like Punk has to win?
No.
So, do they have to do it? You're right about we're getting on in time here. When do we pull the trigger on Punk? There's money in Punk as a champion, but is there more money in Punk constantly chasing and never being able to get it until it's time to get it? And then you get the spoilers that get thrown out there, which really F everything up because it kind of ruins our train of thought. I won't even say it, but I despise, and there's a special place in hell for stooges in the wrestling business. Despise people who say stuff to dirt sheets, who then print it, who ruin it for people. Keep your fucking mouth shut. But we see things out there that make us think, oh, well, maybe they're not going to do that. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to see CM Punk win this one. I think there's longevity in Gunther. Like, do I want to see Punk be champion? Yes. Do I need to see him beat Gunther? No. Gunther and Punk have no real animosities, no real issues, do they?
No, and that's why I would think, and again, this is where you talked about, hey, with Gunther not talking, it's a short window, you could do it. This is where building a story, it's a short window, and you don't have a lot of time. The story could be about the championship. We had that small story of, Punk never having a main event match at WrestleMania, and that was why everybody made such a big deal about Punk being in the main event at last year's WrestleMania. You have a very short time to build a story around that championship now. Obviously CM Punk has been a champion before, but that window is closing for him being champion again. We know that, Punk has been off for a very long time. Plus, Punk is injury prone. This could be one of the last times that Punk has an opportunity to win this championship, Bully. So they could build a story around that like that window is closing, and this might be one of the last time, if not the last time, that Punk has a chance to win a championship with the WWE. Because you're right, there is no history with Gunther where it's like, I gotta see Punk beat Gunther at SummerSlam.
Going back to the being silent, what if we get 3 weeks of buildup of in-ring promos in which Punk talks, Gunther walks away. Punk talks, Gunther walks away. And the go-home Raw to SummerSlam, Punk is now like, I've been burying you. I've been verbally berating you for 2 weeks straight. This is the third week. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you have anything to say? And Gunther looks at him and goes, I have plenty to say. I just don't respect you enough to say it. And walks away.
Sure.
Man, to me, that's everything I needed to hear. I don't respect you enough.
I that could be the thread. The only thing is that we only have a handful of shows before we get.
Could you imagine Gunther saying, something to the effect of, I am a traditional pro wrestler. I'm an old school pro wrestler. And says something to the effect, he says the same thing to Punk that everybody has been saying, but says it in a Gunther way where he says, as an old school pro wrestling, I know that you are bad for pro wrestling. I'm spitballing ideas here, but Gunther can deliver it in a way where it could get under Punk's skin. We're not used to seeing Punk get rattled. And if he gets rattled, it's by sometimes off-script stuff or real personal shots. What if Punk gets rattled because somebody's not saying anything because they don't respect him? It's just another way to get to where we want to go with only a short build. If it's such a short build, why do I need the blah, 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 blah?